Hello friends, welcome to Tech Server Global. Hope you are doing well. So this is the part of our AWS Solution Architect Associate series, and today's topic is AWS Autoscaling. As we have learned about Elastic Load Balancer in last video, where you have distributed multiple web server traffic uh, using load balancer, and where you have create some CNAME record for that particular ELB DNS record. So now in this topic today we are going to learn what is auto scaling, how it works with real scenario, and during the festival season or the peak traffic hours, how the total number of instances has been increased and reduced when it's not being used. So these are the agenda of the today's topic: introduction, types of autoscaling, and autoscaling components. So introduction: Amazon EC2 auto scaling help you to maintain the application availability and lets automatically add or remove EC2 instance using this scaling policy that you define. For example, if I define a scaling policy, if CPU usage is more than 70%, then one additionally instance will automatically add and launch with application. Or else if the CPU again reduced to some number of CPU percentage, then automatically that additional instance will be terminated. So that we can consider as a scaling policy. Dynamic or predictive scaling policy let you add or remove EC2 instance capacity to service established or real-time demand patterns. The fleet management feature of EC2 auto scaling help to maintain the health and availability of your fleet. As we expect that during the festival seasons like Diwali or some New Year or Christmas time, our sales has been increased on that particular time period. So rather than increase the capacity on that particular time period, we have auto scaling feature. Whenever the CPU or whenever the traffic comes on our server, automatically the new server will launch, and it is a part of it automatically add as a part of our application. So this is the auto scaling concept. If we talk about the whole the square, it's considered as our compute capacity. These are the different EC2 instance, or we can consider them as a node, or else we can consider as a container, because container also provide the auto scaling service. So let me consider first, if we consider one node as our minimum requirement, minimum size, and our application is generally working with a desired capacity like 2. So initially when you apply the auto scaling, that 2 instance will be automatically create and running. As far as CPU being used on both the machines, automatically the total number of instances will increases by 1. If still the resource being increases, then it created fourth one. So total maximum capacity, maximum size is 4. Minimum is 1, desired is 2, and scale out as needed. If this still being used, then it increase up to 4, because we define maximum 4, minimum 2, and desired capacity as 2. Sorry, minimum 1 and desired capacity as 2. So as per our application and expected behavior, we have to set up auto scaling to minimum, maximum, and scale out policy. There are two types of auto scaling. Maximum, when you appear for the interview, and if you define auto scaling in your resume, then maximum candidate ask that what is auto scaling and type of auto scaling, what are the difference between vertical and horizontal. So vertical scaling, it upgrades the existing server hardware. For example, if the current machine is having 2 GB RAM and 1 CPU, then we can increase to 4 CPU and 2 GB RAM. That is called a vertical scaling. We increase the capacity on same machine rather than launch new one. So this is called vertical scaling. And horizontal, we can add more and more EC2 instance of same capacity. For example, if the current capacity is 2 CPU 4 GB RAM, then additional new instance of 2 CPU 4 GB RAM will be scaling up, and many more adding more and more. So this is called horizontal scaling. Auto scaling component, first we have to I'm talking about the groups. Your EC2 instance organization into groups, so they can treat it as logical unit. And purpose of scaling management, when you create a group, you can specify the minimum maximum desired number of capacity. Configuration template, you can add configuration template, launch template. As far as the new changes occurred, you can change the launch configuration. Now here we have one question: if the new instance been created, then what will the image, how it set up? So when we set up the auto scaling, we have to prepare first a base image machine ID, which is called as AMIID, which we have already learned on the previous video. So we need to set up one AMI with instance type, key pair, and all this stuff. Then whenever this auto scaling incurred with CPU utilization, automatically new instance will be created with same AMI. Scaling option, EC2 auto scaling provides several ways for you to scale your auto scaling group. You have multiple options that you can increase the scaling groups. Now let me just move on to the EC2 console. Now first I need to create one base emission where I'm going to set up a web server by using setup in Nginx, and then we can use that machine for auto scaling infrastructure. So let me launch one instance. Let me put as base machine Ubuntu. Use Ubuntu as a key, an existing which we have created earlier with port number 22 and port 80. Make sure whenever you select the security group, the required port are open. If it is not, then you need to edit the security group afterwards and change it again. So now the instance has been launched. Now let me take SSH of the machine and set up Nginx. Let me take copy the public IP. Let me check. Now status is running. Now let me run sudo su upt update. upt install Nginx systemctl start nginx echo hostnet. So what I am planning to have, I'm changing the content of nginx configuration with that particular IP of the machine. So we have different scenarios. Whenever the request comes from the request received from the different host, we have the actual idea when this response is coming from, what is the host name. So let me change it on var www html. Okay, and let me start systemctl enable nginx. Whatever the changes you like to configure with the base machine, it should be applied, or else it will not reflect when creating the image. So let me validate by running this. Okay, let me change little bit. So here you can see the home page is like response from this private IP address. So now I'm going to take image snapshot of the running machine. So I'm performing same as I have brief about on here my previous video that create the image. I'm putting as base web and I'm choose no reboot and let me create. So meantime I'm just pause my video, and whenever this instance AMI has been ready, then I will start back. So now the image is running, image is available now. So now navigate to auto scaling features called auto scaling group. Let me create auto scaling group. ESG GRP auto scaling group launch template. So here you can see there is template is not available. So first we need to set up a launch template. So let me just click on launch template. Template name ESG template. Here I need to use my EMI. If someone shared with you, you can use that one. Instance type, it should be P2 micro. Key pair login, also I am defining key pair. Network setting, I am also defining the subnet. You can use anyone. Let me select the default. Select the existing security group. Let me create a ASG security group. Let me select the existing one. This one is created. Now storage volume is automatically as EBS in launch template. Let me just okay. So now the template has been created. Let me refresh and see existing template. Next, over at the large template, if you want, you can edit availability zone. Let me select 1A, 1B. Okay, now if you want to add a load balancer, you can. So now I'm going to add our existing load balancer as I created on the previous. Choose from targeted group. Let me put next. Here you can see the desired capacity, minimum and maximum. So let me set 2 as a minimum, 3 as a desired, and maximum 4. Now change if you want to change tracking policy, you can. If the CPU metric use more than 50%, or else let's put as a 35%, because we don't want to put any more target on CPU. But as far as general scenario concerned, it should be 70 or more than 60-65%. Enable scale in policy if the utilization is less than this, then automatically the additional instance will be terminated to reduce the cost. Now if you want to any notification, you can create a SNS topic and add as a notification whenever the new instance will create, or any existing instance has been dropped, you can use that. Next, and let me validate auto scaling. Took some time. Meantime, we can just refresh this. So automatically there are 2 instances been created because we put minimum capacity as 2. Also you can check on load balancer. Let me check under targets. Here you can see there are 3 instances being created. 1, 2, 3, all are running. Validate. All all three instances are still being. Also let me check in load balancer, listeners and target group. Now here you can see 3 instances has been created for each of having 3 capacity, minimum 2, desired 3 and maximum 4. Let me validate the DNS record. Still it's saying 503 because the listeners in the targeted group are not being still validated. Still 3 are under unused. It took some time to register all 3 instances under target group. So here you can see 3 instances being launched. Still are. Let me pause this video again, and once it's been all 3 targets been under healthy state, we'll resume it back. So now all 3 targets has been under healthy state. Let me. So this is the response from this, and also I can validate using CNAME. Web test. Here you can see the responses from this. So the every time when the you have such complex application that you need auto scaling infrastructure. Whenever the traffic comes on your website, it should automatically create a new instance, and whenever the systems comes in normal way, it should be the replace. So this is the concept of auto scaling and auto scaling group. Let me just, so here you can see auto scaling group. There are some options with details, desired capacity, minimum, maximum. You can change it. You can change the launch template as well. You can also change the MIID, key pair and other stuff. Once you edit the option, you have option. If you want to change the launch template, like if you have for example, if my base machine is required to have some edit, then I can create a new change the configuration and create a new AMI ID, new AMI with new version, and change it over here. So I can have option to override the changes. Launch template. If in case you want to change the new one, then you need to create a new version of existing template, like paste v1 source template. You can have is, so from existing you can have source template, and you can create you can have the version of it, and by after creating the new AMI, you need to select the new launch instance. So in case if you have any changes on the base AMI, you need to relaunch your template. So hope you guys find a well thing on the auto scaling concept as well. If some instance been terminated or removed, then it shows over here as well, activity, under activity. All the history will shown over here. If you, for example, let me terminate one instance, as our minimum capacity is 3. So as far as I terminate the existing one instance, or as for example if it is crashed, then automatically auto scaling will identify that one instance has been crashed or removed, and automatically the new instance will be launched soon. There only 3 events are there. Let's wait for when this application security group identify that this auto scaling instance is having only 2 instances rather than having 3, it will automatically trigger an event and will set up the new instance. It took some time for having trigger and identification. Here you can see there are only 2 healthy status. It took some time for launching the new one. Yes, here you can see connecting or draining the process. The instance has been taken out of service due to response, and it has been terminated and stopped, and instance been launched response for unhealthy status, reading on replaced. So let me validate. Now there are only 2 instances. Let me refresh this. The third instance been launched. Yeah, sorry, this one in splicing. So this is the concept of auto scaling. Whenever the existing instance being crashed or terminated by any way reason, automatically the new instance will be created. And if you just browse the public IP, it will also having the Nginx with hostname or with the response from this particular host. So ultimately this auto scaling is a usage for complex applications or web server and complex application servers as well, where we have more CPU oriented services are there due to CPU, or the instance should be crash or system should be reduce the response manner, where we can use the application security group. So these are the some options. Instance management, we can identify which instance being, this is under terminating and this is running. Monitoring, we can have also monitoring on the CloudWatch. Minimum took some time for data gathering. Thank so this is the completion of our auto scaling group. Hope you guys find well with my teaching technologies, and if you face any issues or you didn't understand what is any under any concept, you can feel free to just update on the comment section. Thank you very much, and kindly subscribe the channel and kindly share your input. Thank you.